Hey, YouTube family and GN subs, how are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful week. We have a wonderful video today talking about getting an independent work authorization based upon compelling circumstances. A lot of you have never heard of this. I'm telling you, we just got a new update from USCIS. I want to share that policy with you and how you can get the work permit, the EAD, Employment Authorization Card, okay? You can always get me at hrg@graylaw.com. That is the only way you can get me. So if you're trying to reach out, hey, I respond. Make sure you leave questions in the comment section. For my GN subs, I answer everyone, all right? So a lot to unpack today. I'm going to give you also a few new updates as well. So hey, let's get at it. A lot to unpack. All right, we got some alternatives to getting work authorization, right? Let's talk about how it's normally issued. Normally, this compelling circumstance EAD card comes into play when you have an employment-based petition and you can't file the I-485, the adjustment. You can still apply for the work authorization based upon certain circumstances, okay? A lot of people don't know what's going on with this, so we're gonna flush it out, break it down, make it very, very simple. So you need several things. This is the law. You can look it up. 8 CFR 204.5P. That is the section, all right? Go through it. We're gonna flush it out just a little bit here to make it very, very simple. So first, what you need to be in legal non-immigrant status. That means you have to have an H1, an L1, a E3 for Australians. You have to be in valid non-immigrant status, right? Then you have to have a petition approved under either the EB1, EB2, or EB3 categories. There are some instances in those categories where the case is not current, particularly for Indians and Chinese, right? There's a backlog. So if there's a backlog, your case is not current. Let's say you have an EB3 non-skilled petition, right, for domestic workers, and it's not current. Or some, from the Philippines in the EB3 category, not current. You can't file the I-485. So what can you do? Under this special provision, you can file for an EAD. You can file for a work permit, believe it or not, right? And the work permit doesn't have to be in connection with your current employment. You can work anywhere. It's a card to work anywhere, all right? So how do we do this? What are compelling circumstances under the law? We're going to go through, give you a good idea on what it takes to get this work authorization. All right, number one, sick or illness in the family. So if one of your kids or your spouse or yourself, you're sick, let's say you have to move to another state to get medical treatment, right? And you're unable to work in connection with the employer that has issued your current work authorization. Well, guess what? You can apply for an independent work authorization based upon compelling circumstances, okay? Illness is considered one such reason. All right, number two, if your employer is retaliating against you, let's say they unlawfully fire you, right? And so you're going to litigation or you're reporting them to the authorities like OSHA. We talked a little bit about the T visa. This is a little bit similar, except for the fact that if there is retaliation by the employer, you can show that. You can get an independent work authorization to work anywhere. That's another example of how you can get this work authorization for compelling reasons. Third, if the employer goes out of business, right, and they terminate your employment right away, you can apply for an independent work authorization based upon compelling reasons. Likewise, if you are very critical to the employer, and for example, let's say, again, these are circumstances where your employment-based petition is not current and you can't, for some reason, extend your non-immigrant visa status, you can apply for an independent work authorization to be able to continue to work because you're so critical to that employer, all right? This is great stuff, folks. You're able to extend based upon the same circumstances. So this is a good tool. Keep it in the toolbox, right? Use it if you can. And we'll keep bringing you some really, really good news. All right, let's talk about updates on spouses having the ability to apply for work authorization when the principal spouse is under the H-1B visa. There's been a lot of back and forth on this, folks. Finally, we got a great decision. Save Jobs, USA versus Homeland Security. District Court rule, spouses can have work authorization concurrent with the underlying H-1B applicant. Great win, great news. We talked about this before, another bit of good news, asylum at the border. CBP now is able to adjudicate credible fear determinations. What they do is they have officers dial into USCIS officers to adjudicate the credible fear. They're able to do that directly at the border now. Previously, they were allowing actual asylum interviews at the borders. They were shipping USCIS officers to the border. I hear that's going to continue as well. Biden is trying very hard to make some sense of the dire situation on the border. It's a mess. And you're going to continue to see policies that are updated with regard to the border. I'll keep you informed. All right, one last piece of good news. More money coming to USCIS to continue to try to chip away at the backlog. The House Dems proposed to double the funding for USCIS. I've told you this once, and I'm going to tell you again. Marriage-based petitions, when you're filing, include the medical exam. They're good forever now. Include joint documentation. You may get your case approved and waived. There's such a backlog. You're going to be seeing much, much more waiver of interviews here in the U.S. That is great news. All right, YouTube family and GN subs, thanks so much for watching GrayLaw TV. Click below, like and subscribe. Go to my playlist. Make sure you're getting that good content. It's awesome, organized, very, very well. I spend a lot of time doing that, folks. So, hey, take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.